to shred other body parts too. Then, eventually, the victim bleeds to death in terrible pain. So, he invents this gadget using parts from a vacuum cleaner, a Cuisinart, and a walkie-talkie. Works great on the screen. A fiendish device. Of course, you've seen stills of it in People and Teen and such. I'm surprised they didn't license miniatures of it for inclusion in Happy Meals. "Okay, stop," said M. Kenge. I had not met M. Kenge before today's audition, but I'd carefully learned her name, because that's what a professional actress does. I feel unusual names are more critical to remember than ordinary names, because people with unusual names have a bigger burden in life than the rest of us, in a small but important to them way. An unusual name practically invites you to forget it. M. Kenge pronounced her name M. Kenge. On the page, M. Kenge looks as if it might be pronounced Ma Kengi, which would make it sound Scots, which her parents surely could not have intended. So M. Kenge said stop. I looked at her attentively. She blew a breath down at the tabletop, then ran 2 fingers along the side of her skull, as if trying to unzip a headache and let it out. Her head was one of those beautiful, short-cropped African heritage ones, large, smooth cranium, narrow jaw. She did not bother to smile. She was looking at me with intensity and thrilling dissatisfaction. Thrilling because she clearly wanted to help me get it right. I so wanted to get it right. "Rita, can you do it again? This time, full face to me. I know in this scene you're supposed to be watching your student Melissa's fingers getting shredded, and then her tongue and all that. But now I'd like you to scream as if your fingers were getting shredded. You were given pages for that scene, so let's try it. Just the screaming part." She clenched one hand on her stomach and reached skyward with the other. "Bring it up from your gut, but not totally from there. Give me some highness. I guess what I'm trying to say is, can you make it more piercing?" "Piercing." "Yes," I said, my heart singing because she didn't say, "Thank you, next." If they ask you to do it different ways, they think you might be able to deliver exactly what they want. "Make the hair on the back of my neck stand up." "Yes." I thought of the most horrifying thing in the world to me right then, which was getting my credit card declined again at the grocery store, which would mean I would have to sell Grandma Gladys's diamond brooch to buy cereal and juice boxes for Petey and to prevent the landlord from evicting us. So I imagined walking into a Dill's Pawn America with that diamond and sapphire brooch and all that it meant, and I felt not only frightened but angry. And I set my heels into the carpet of the soundproof audition room, which was doubling today as a bloody dungeon, and I screamed and screamed again. Plus, usually for a film role, you're doing it in somebody's office, not a casting studio. The studios being the cattle chutes between the herd of actors out there and the yearned-for slaughterhouse of TV commercials. The company that made the Finger Shredder movies, Half-Fast Pictures, however, rented a studio space for these auditions because everybody in the offices would have gone insane listening to people screaming for days on end. Evan Granger Jackson likes to have lots of first audition tapes to look at. We'd already done an earlier scene with dialogue in it, not that there was lots in those movies, which is what makes horror movies so much like pornos. There's not that much difference between "Please don't stop" and "Please don't stop." The scripts are interchangeable. It's only the action that's different. Really, just listen sometime. "Thank you," said Mkenge with finality in her voice, and I could tell she was disappointed. She crunched up one cheek wistfully. To me, an acting professional, it was the worst kind of disappointment. That tone that says, "Man, this one just missed. Missed by that much. Next!" Of course, they rarely say anything at the moment. They leave that for your agent. But I was experienced enough to know that tone. I'd heard it so often. Was my life's ambition to play supporting roles in teen horror flicks? No, but give me credit for not having stooped to doing porn. Not that I have the body porn requires anyway.